Sumner County school community is remembering one of its students after she died following a weekend crash in Hendersonville.
WSMV 4's Joylyn Bukovac joins us live outside Station Camp High School with how classmates are honoring her memory. Joylyn.
Yeah, this is where people gathered just yesterday praying for her recovery, and now those hopes have turned into heartbreak as they mourn that loss. And just yesterday, Station Camp High School, they confirmed that their rising sophomore, Kinsley Carter, died after being critically injured in Sunday's crash. This happened along Windcrest Way in Hendersonville. And on social media, schools throughout Sumner County, they've shared messages remembering Kinsley and asking the community to keep her family, her classmates, and teammates in their prayers. She's also a member of the Lady Bison softball team, which called her a special young woman who will forever be part of the Bison family. And as the community mourns here, investigators are working to figure out exactly what led up to the crash and what happened on Sunday. So they're asking everyone to check their surveillance cameras, their doorbell cameras, and try to see that if you captured moments before the crash or the crash itself. Again, this happened along Windcrest Way in Hendersonville. Reporting live from Sumner County, I'm Joylyn Bukovac, WSMV.